So this is the fourth assignment. This person made a grilled chicken break-even point analysis. So what I would be looking for is whether the concept of fixed costs and variable costs is correct or not. Fixed costs are things that you would be having to pay every month, every day, even though you don't sell anything. So in this case, the rent, salary, electricity, water, advertising, that's correct. Now, are you using formulas or not? Here, this is not using formulas, that's fine, because this is the first instance you mentioned it. But then in the subtotal, you should use formulas. In this case, it's C4 times B4. That's correct. And this person is using formulas all the way. And for the total here, total fixed cost, you would be trying to add up between all the subtotals here using sum D4 until 48. Okay. And for the variable cost, this means that the cost would be going up depending on how many units you're making. If you're making more units, then the variable cost would also increase. For each grilled chicken, you have the chicken itself, 2 kilograms. So the unit is quite large here. You need 5 kilograms of seasoning and so on. Let's see whether the person here uses the formula or not. Subtotals, actually you should be using the subtotal, for subtotal, you should be using a formula. So it should be here, B14, okay, times D14. Okay, and then this is not per unit. And then here for the per unit, you would be dividing it into how many portions you can make from here. It seems that you can make 20 portions. I'm not really sure whether you can make 20 portions of 2 kilograms of chicken. Yeah, you probably could. Okay, or maybe it's 200 portions. So in which case, it would be too small, only one bite. So I think this would probably be 4,500 and so on. So please check whether this is correct or not, whether this is reasonable or not, it makes sense or not. But here, it's also not using formulas. For the sum, it does use a formula. So I would be expecting you to use formulas in all the cells as much as you can. Now here, the selling price is 10,000. The revenue, I've seen that you have been using a formula for this, 100 times 10,000, okay? And the good thing about using formulas is that you can just drag down and you don't have to rewrite it again. But of course, you need to use this dollar sign. Okay, so from here, you can just drag down. Okay, so for instance, if there was nothing here, and then you can just drag, it would just be all the same. So you only need to make a formula for the first row, and after that, you don't have to worry about making it again. Okay, for the fixed cost, it's always the same. That's why it's using a dollar sign here, $10, meaning that, the fixed cost would be here, meaning that it's always this number. It wouldn't change. Okay, so it's always T10. This one is not correct because you're just using T10. It should be $10. So if you drag down, it won't go down with it, but it'll still be at D10. And then for the variable cost, it's H4 times F19. H4 is the number of units sold times F19, the variable cost. Okay, you just drag down total cost. You know that it's fixed cost plus variable cost. And then the profit, you would be subtracting revenue minus total cost. This is correct. Now, you would be achieving the break-even point in here at the 7th month. Yeah, because before that, it's minus. If it's minus, it's a loss. You don't get money. And so on. Okay, now for the graphic, the revenue is the blue one here. Okay, you should also show actually the fixed cost. It would be better because the fixed cost would be a horizontal line. 5.6 million would be around here. And then the variable cost would probably be kind of like here, and then you get the total cost. Okay, but never mind. So you can see that at around 6.5 months, you should be reaching break-even point. And at that time, you would be receiving about, this would be, you should try to find out how many units you would be selling. In that case, it would be around 650 units that you're selling to receive the point of breaking even. And then that's where you start getting the profits here. So those are the things that I want to see in this assignment: the concept of fixed costs, variable costs, how you get to find the break-even point, and whether you're using formulas or not, and whether you're using the graph or not. Now, an easy way for me to find that out is that, for instance, if I change the selling price to 15,000, everything will change. So that's correct. So you're using formulas. Now, are you using formulas here? If I change it to 90,000, does anything change? It doesn't. So here you don't use formulas, right? So this is the break-even point with the indicators whether you have been doing it correctly or not. Thank you.